Family bonds are among the most profound connections we experience in life, but in the rush of daily living, we often forget to cherish them. Let me share a story about a father, a son, and the journey that changed their lives. There was once a hard-working father and his curious young son who lived in a small village. The father spent his days working in the fields, while the son would play by the stream, always full of questions about the world. One day, the son asked, "Father, why do you always carry such a heavy load? Can't someone else do it?" The father paused and said, "Come with me tomorrow, and I'll show you." The next morning, they began their journey before sunrise. The father carried a bundle of firewood, and the son followed, carrying a small loaf of bread. They walked for hours, stopping occasionally to rest. As the sun climbed higher, the son grew tired. "Father, I'm thirsty," he said. Without a word, the father handed him the last sip of water from their flask. Later, when the son grew hungry, the father broke the loaf of bread in half, giving the larger piece to the boy. Finally, as the sun began to set, they reached their destination, a neighboring village where the father sold his firewood to buy food for their family. As they walked back home, the boy was silent, deep in thought. That night, as they sat by the fire, the son asked, "Father, why didn't you take any of the water or keep more of the bread for yourself?" The father smiled and said, "Because I carry more than firewood, my son. I carry love, responsibility, and the hope for your future. And one day, you will carry these things too." From that day forward, the boy saw his father's burdens not as heavy loads, but as acts of love. This story teaches us a powerful truth. Family bonds are built not just through words, but through actions, through the sacrifices we make and the care we give, often without expectation of recognition. Let's explore 3 lessons we can take from this father and son's journey. Lesson 1. See the love in sacrifice. The father didn't complain about his burdens, he carried them with love. My teacher often said, "True love is not in what you say, but in what you do without needing to say it." Take a moment to reflect. What sacrifices have been made for you that you might not have noticed? Gratitude begins when we recognize the quiet acts of love that shape our lives. Lesson 2. Share what you have, no matter how small. The father shared his last sip of water and his larger piece of bread, not because he had plenty, but because he cared. Generosity isn't about abundance, it's about intention. Ask yourself, how can I share what I have today? A kind word, a small gesture, or even your time can mean more than you realize. Lesson 3. Walk the journey together. The father invited his son to walk with him, teaching him through experience. Family bonds grow stronger when we journey together, sharing not just the joys but also the challenges. Who can you invite to share your journey? Sometimes, the greatest gift you can give is your presence. So, what can we learn from this story? Treasure the moments you share with your family. See the love in their sacrifices. Share what you have with an open heart. And remember, life's most meaningful journeys are the ones we walk together. Family bonds aren't measured by grand gestures. They're built in the quiet, everyday acts of love and care. If this story resonates with you, share it with someone who needs a reminder of the power of family bonds. And in the comments, tell me, what's one thing you treasure about your family? Remember, the greatest gift we can give and receive is love. Let's walk this journey together, treasuring the bonds that make life meaningful.